What I want to do right now is get these things looking like new and put them on the car. That's the right hand front brake pipe. That's the left hand one. I've got to remove a lot of the wiring and crap to get that on. I should have put that on first. That's the clutch. That's getting replaced. Got a new one of them coming. There's another thing they missed on the last order. I think Matt didn't order it properly. He's German, the guy, so there's a bit of a communication thing. Anyway, now it's actually 9:15 in the morning, so we'll see how long it takes me to make them look new and get them on the car. Remnants of an old rubber here, there, and there. I'm going to try and put them back on, or something similar to it. I'll just make a little recording so I can know where to put that stuff. There's one here, that's the driver's side pipe. The clutch one, looks like it had something there. I've pretty been going half an hour, a little bit over. I've done one pipe. That pipe's done, it's been cleared, it's just sitting in the sun. That's all I want, how I want them to look, just like that. That's all. They come up all right. You just buff them with a wire wheel. Where the rubbers have been, these things, they're still like new. This is a lot trickier, it's a lot longer. Got to be careful with those wire wheels. This is the clutch line. I'm going to have to remake that. It's got a hole in it. It was a little bit bent. I tried to straighten it and it cracked it. So I've got the stuff here to do that. I'll just reuse these ends because I don't have them. They're a weird size. Just over an hour now. I just finished painting there's one of them. There's the other one. It's just sitting there. I just painted it clear. So while that's drying, I'm going to make a new one of these. So unfortunately, this one broke. I'll have to cut that, get the ends off it, and make a new one. It's now 20 to 12. I've just got this line made. It took a few goes. These Chinese things, I wouldn't recommend buying them. If you're going to buy one, buy a proper one, a hydraulic one. It'll do everything. It'll do the bubbles. It'll do a normal flare, a double flare. This is supposed to do single and doubles. It doesn't. But I got it done. It's done. The one thing, I bent that before I flared it, and then you go to put these things on, you can't get them on. So just do one end, put the thing on, do the other end, put that on, then bend it. Because this copper stuff, once you bend it, it doesn't like getting bent again. It sort of goes hard. Anyway, that's done. I'm just going to let that dry. I've just painted those little nuts clear, or bolts, whatever they are. Those little end bits. But this thing here, I'm not going to throw that away. I'm going to keep that. That's the reason. I don't know if you can see that little cut there. That's the reason why I had to remake it. The thing was bent. I went to bend it back and it snapped. Anyway, now these things are dry. I'm going to get them down and start fitting them to the car. That thing, I won't fit that until gearboxes, or until I put the master cylinder in, which won't be today. I said that wrong. I always put that on first, then do the flare. The throttle cable, I've just fixed it up, but same thing, buff that on the wire wheel, and I painted that silver. That's good to go. I'm just going to put some oil down there, but that can go on the car now after I oil it. I've got to remove a lot of this stuff. Realistically, when you're building that car, very first thing goes on is the brake lines. I stuffed up there, but hopefully this one here won't be so hard to put on, but I'm going to put the other one on first, just in case something's in the way here. And cut. Just finished it. Let's go and have a look. That's just putting those two brake pipes in. Fixed it, I've remade a new clutch pipe. Got to take all this crap off. Make sure everything fits, can't scratch nothing. Everything's in. But yeah, I should have put that in first. Whenever you build a car, first thing ever goes in is the brake lines. And there's that one goes down there. I've got brand new rubber flexi hoses that go to the brakes, all four of them. This light wire here, I think it's something to do with generator. That wire is supposed to be black. That's all I had, but I will change that. And there's a couple of things, whatever, I'll figure it out. Anyway, see when I did that so quick, I'm going to throw in the the throttle cable now, and it can just hang here out of the way. But that's basically how long it takes to do that. I've got the clutch thing built, the clutch line. Once I throw this master cylinder in, that just goes through here and down there to the gearbox. Throttle cable in, that bolt just there. If you're ever doing this, put that in first. That's the stopper for the throttle cable, the throttle pedal. It's pretty tricky getting it in once all that other stuff's in. I did have to remove this, and that's not easy to get in single-handedly. It's handy if you've got someone to hold it for you. Anyway, this stuff's all in, it's neat, it's done. I'll just go and show you what the time is. It's after 2, I think, or it's nearly 2. See that, throttle cable's in, tacho cable's in, choke cable's in, all the lines are in for the brakes, every single line from the front to the back. Just got the only thing I have to put in is the speedo cable, which we're still waiting on. We're getting a new one. I don't want to have ugly looking cables coming in here after everything else looking new. This side's all neat. Put that on there. I even stamped the numbers in that little panel thing we bought. It's like a sticker, but it's made of steel, some sort of steel, aluminium, whatever. Coming along, you just got to work on the... I'm going to be putting these in tomorrow. I've got to paint them. The headlight retainers, whatever they call them, buckets, just things that hold the headlight in, that's what I call them. That's getting done tomorrow. They've got to be rewired and painted. What else am I going to be doing tomorrow? Who knows, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm just glad that's in. It was rather difficult, but it could have been way harder. Trust me, that can be way harder. That was actually pretty smooth. We'll just go and check the time. Give me 10 minutes to clean up, I'm out of here. It's the time. Just a little bit 4:02, so whatever that is. 4 and 3/4 hours. Take 10 minutes off for a smoko. That's it. That's how long it took me to do all that. This stuff here, this is the stuff I'm going to be covering this with, and those, and the door trims. And we want to get some leather similar to that colour. That's going to be the colour of the interior. I was hoping to get all these done with what I bought. I only bought 2 of these. It looks like I'm going to have to get 3 more. Because I can do those 2 panels in that one sheet. But I was hoping to be able to fit these in, anyway, I've just got to get more. I've still got 1, but I've got to get 3 more. Because like this big panel, because of the weird shape of it, I can only get 1. A lot of waste. Unless I cut it here, like where it originally was. That originally goes straight through there. Then I can move it around. I can probably save 1 roll. I think I'd rather leave it in one piece. Anyway, I'll get 3 more rolls of that stuff. It wasn't expensive. It's only just Chinese stuff. Hopefully it works. I've got to finish detailing these as well. I'm going to aquablast those. But I've given them a good sand and straightening, but hopefully aquablast will bring them up, otherwise I'll paint those. But this is what I'm working on today. These things. Should be able to just give them a clean, hopefully. I've got new rubbers. So they can get put on, but I have to rewire these lights. So that's what I'm doing first. Give this headlight a quick test. It's low beam. White one's high beam, I believe. Well, that's low beam. That's yeah, low and high. But that thing there is not working. Put that on there. A bit crude, but yeah. Anyway, I've got to find out why that's not working. So I'm going to pull this apart and see why the hell that's not working. I've mucked around with it and I'm not getting any power there. I'd like to go. This has to be earthed to the car for that to go. It was just not earthing. So this has got an earth to its own plug, but that all runs earth to the car. There's power at that no problems. So what I'm going to do is clean this thing up. I've got to get a new rubber for there. I'll see if I can find anything here. I probably need 2 of them. Then just fix these wires, and it's good to put on. Kit thing here. Those 2 there will do perfectly. I'll also put a bit of silicone on them. hold them in as well. But that's a nice fit. It's just, you know, it fits over that pretty good, but I just will glue it as well. There's that done. I always solder the joints too. Every single joint always gets soldered. So I'll put this back together. I've cleaned that. Just cleaned that. I've given it a quick flick with that fake chrome. Clean his headlight. This has got to be polished up, and it's got a little broken section. I'll just put a bit of super glue on that. I'll put this back together. I've got a new rubber that's going on the car. I'm just doing one at a time. That headlight's polished up good. All this other stuff's in good condition. This thing here, that stuff doesn't wash off. I'm going to have to get some terps on that. I actually will be throwing that out. That and that, there's no point keeping that. That's had it, I've got new ones. I will just put a little bit of silicone in there. That rubber fits good. But I'll just put some silicone in there just to stop any dirt getting in there. 3 hours later, the light's ready to put on. Clean up all this wiring. I'm going to put a grommet on there where it comes through the skirt. That's brand new rubber, obviously. All this is cleaned up pretty nice. You get that new chrome trim piece to go on there to finish it off. Mr. Honda, you couldn't have made that headlight harder to put together. Thank you. Anyway, I've already had this on twice, so I'm going to go and put it on. Hopefully it doesn't take long. Dare I say it? Good news. We've got a headlight. Bloody thing actually fits, and it's not going to fall off. When this car came on the tow truck, the towee had to stop because the headlight fell off. It was all smashed, and there was I think there was none of them. The little tabs here that hold the headlight on, there was none. So the only thing that was holding it there was gravity and this little hook up here. So he taped that all on when we picked the car up. It looks bloody good. It took me over 3 hours. It's 25 to 1 now. I started at 9:15. Anyway, I'm going to wire it up. I've got this little grommet kit here. This stuff goes through that little hole there. I'll just get myself a good grommet, shove that in, and hook it up. And I'll go and have a look at the other one, because I'm pretty sure from memory the thing that holds this lower bulb has had it. So I've got to come up with something creative there. I've got to work something out. Anyway, these new rubbers, don't stuff around with anything else. Fork out the money and buy them proper rubbers. They're well worth it. May have to undo that to put this chrome mould on, because a little bit slips in there, but just back it off. That I'm really happy with that, because that thing was all smashed back. That light fell off on the way back, and like the truck he was going, you're lucky we didn't lose that light. He just noticed it and just was able to sticky tape the whole thing on. It was just everywhere. That's when I get back and take pictures of this car, then you'll see how good it looks. Like, I'm super happy with that. It's like a big milestone. Anyway, it's 4 hours just to do that one piece. Tomorrow I've got to do that other one, and it needs a bit of work. I might get a bit done on it this Harvey. We'll have a look at it. There are one or two things that I will throw out like that. I've got the new factory rubber. Why would I keep that? You know, it's had it. I'll be gladly throwing that away. You know, things like that, sure, throw out. I did the same thing with what was the remains of the door rubbers. They're gone. I don't want to look at them. You know, we've got one more empty box. They're starting to add up, these empty boxes. Tomorrow I'll be working on that headlight. We'll just have a quick look at it. That definitely won't work. I'm going to have to do some surgery on that. I'm going to have to cut that out of there and get a part off another light and weld it in there. So any way you can fix that, sandblast it, spray it. Anyway, that's tomorrow. Like, the rubber's not as bad as the other one, but it's still not going on this car. I've got a new one for that. Anyway, that's tomorrow. I've had enough. That's took me over 4 hours to do all that. That stuff needs fixing. Maybe I'll glue that before I go, but that all needs cleaning. That's the mirror that was on it. We've got two chrome ones. Nearly smashed it. I still won't chuck that. Anyway, that's today. Just remember I had these things up in the loft there. I've had these forever. I'll just strip that. It looks like it's got what I want. I'm gonna bust that up and get that little piece in there out of it. Jackpot. Exactly what I need to fix this bloody head, this light. He says keep running all bits of junk doesn't pay off. Okay, today I'm going to fix this thing up. Get that on the car, hopefully. I'm going to put that little piece there in there. It's no good, that's cactus. So first thing I do is strip that down. I've got this thing all stripped. All I'm going to do is sandblast that. I'm going to drill that out. And the new part I've got is practically the same as it. So I've got this extra little earth piece that I'm going to put on as well. So that's all good. Headlight came up really nice, so that's good. I'll straighten that. These bits here always get bent. This one's actually a little bit different to the other one. It doesn't seem to be as hard to put together, which is good. Unless there's a bit missing off it, but I can't see anything. I think there's supposed to be a spring here, but it's not there, so it doesn't need it. I'm not putting it on. You know, I'll just get this sorted out, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. Got this thing all straightened, sandblasted. I've just ground that down flat. I'm just going to drill it out with this thing. Just drill that out enough just to get it out. The other one should just fit straight in there. Might just need one or two tacks. That's done. There's the remains of the old one. There's the new one. Just put a tack there, and plus I've also put a screw. So that's fixed. I've got to put the cover on that, and it's done. Got to clean the cover up now, and then solder them wires. Like I bought one. Last thing I've got to do is get that stuff off there. It doesn't wash off, but Terps gets it off, so I'll clean that. And then I just got to wire, solder up them wires, and it's ready to assemble. Another empty box. That's what you want to see, is containers and boxes emptying. It's another step closer to everything being done. 4.5 hours later, it's all done. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get brand new ones of these screws. And a couple of them are a little bit ugly. So they're M3 by 8, I believe, but they're just M3, and they're, what are they, 55 mil long. I'm going to get 4 new ones. I've got a company that's every screw, any screw. It might cost me $5 each, I don't know, but we'll see. But couldn't be happier. The fit and finish on that is flawless. It's absolutely perfect, just the way you want it. I'm really happy with that. Once those chrome mouldings go on that trim piece, it's going to look Mickey Mouse. Get the front bumper bar on. I'm not putting this badge on yet. I'm going to give it another buff. Give it a final buff and a full polish, hand polish. But man, nearly 5 hours to do that. 4.5 hours, 4 hours and 40 minutes, to tell you the truth. But I did have to rebuild this retainer. It was, most people would probably throw that away. I was just lucky I had that little part here. Now, one thing I just like to add is, like, with this YouTube thing, it's pretty good. I've met a lot of cool people doing YouTube and had a lot of good advice, and where to get tools and how to do stuff, and not where to get parts as well. And this one guy I'd like to just mention, Brenton, he got in touch with me. He's got a 600, a nice little red one. He's an Aussie, and he's going to give us a clutch master cylinder. He's even paid to send it here. It's on its way. Yeah, legend. Thanks for that, Brenton. The new bleed screw has turned up. Got them from England. 10 days exactly from the day I ordered them to having them sitting here in my hand. It's pretty good. $17 total cost. There's those ones. They're the, which ones are they? They're the rear ones. We've got the new bleed screw. I just throw new screws and nuts and washers on there as well. They're ready to go on the car now. I'll just do the front ones. I'll keep these nuts and bolts and washers, and I'll hang on to those as well. But I'll use those for something. They're just not going on this car. It's the front ones, all ready to go on. These things, I'll never throw them out, even though they're not going on the car. But you just never know. I've got them. They're all pretty stripped, so you don't need them on the car. I'll keep those nuts, so I'll get used for something. Reading up on this fuel pump, and plus Brenton also confirmed what I was thinking. Like, I didn't quite understand it, but yeah, apparently these fuel pumps, they're not like a normal fuel pump. You can't test it like a normal fuel pump. What I was doing, you'll never be able to test it like that. You sort of can, like it was pumping. That's all it'll do. This part here, that's actually got something to do, unless I'm wrong, that's got something to do with how the fuel pump works. Without that, that runs off the camshaft. Right, it goes on top of the cam cover. I'm not sure what that thing's called, but it's got something to do with boosting the power to the fuel pump. So it seems like that's working properly. So what I'm going to do, I've tried to pull it apart, I haven't had much luck. And like it'd be dirty inside, so I'm going to clean it. And I'll probably put it on. But once I get some fuel in that tank, I'm going to pump a few litres through that and just throw it away. Just to give that a clean out. That's the only thing I can think of. Like I said, I've tried pulling it apart and it's got resin in here. They've resined the wires in, and I feel it's just not coming apart without undoing that resin, and I'm not doing that. The bottom section may come off, but I don't see how. I've tried and I don't want to break it. So I'm just going to clean it up, put it on and do that. Fuel pump, fuel filter's in. I just got to get a fuel filter and a spring. But this is all the blinkers, the lights, the park lights, all wired in, all neat. This stuff here probably goes to the starter. This stuff I haven't figured out yet. This stuff's the coil. You know, you just, as you put stuff together, you find that all like goes to the generator. That'll be getting cleaned up. It's not staying like that. The generator I've got to fix. We're not sure if this starter solenoid thing works, but we'll get to that when we have to. If we have to buy another one, they're not that dear. And I'm pretty happy with how that all came together. It looks great. Really happy with the front of it. Anyway, well, I might make that into a video. Well, doesn't, like, some of these things don't look like you've done much, but all of a sudden, once you get things rolling, the things come together quick. Like, this thing's getting very close. There's not that much left to put on it, really. There's the, I don't know if that's an alternator or a generator, to tell you the truth. It's one or the other. Whatever it does, it keeps the battery from going flat. So that'll be getting pulled apart and looked at, cleaned up. Do what I got to do to make that look good. The fan, that's got to get done. This thing here, that's an old type. You shake that, you can hear it's got water in it. That's an old wet type. They're normally 3 ohms. I did test that. It was putting out at 5 point something, so that thing's no good. I'll get another one. I might put a 1.5 ohms more modern one on it. It'll give it more kick. So we'll get a better one of them, and yeah, that's not worth mucking around with. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. Also, this is turned up. That's the carpet. So I've got most of the stuff for the trim. I had to order 3 more rolls of that red because it just wasn't enough. But that stuff there, I'll be taking up to the guy to get all the carpet done probably next week. He doesn't charge that much, eh? He done all our bus. He overlocks all the edges. Of course, you know, with carpet, if the edges are hidden, you don't overlock it. It never gets done. Any exposed edge is overlocked, and all this is exposed. So the way it's done, so it'll be all getting overlocked. We might even, that's black carpet. We might get the overlocking done in red. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we haven't got the stuff for the seats yet, so we've got to find some leather that's a close colour to that vinyl stuff we're putting on the sides. And the seats will be getting done professionally. That's the one thing that I won't be doing is the seats. It's not worth it. Anyway, I'd just like to thank Brenton once more. We're really stoked we're getting that part for free. Thanks very much, mate. That's awesome. And I'd just like to thank everyone for watching and you're all commenting, and you know, the guys who have subscribed and stuff. Thanks very much.